toe the line in that regard. This is still your show after all.
Yeah, you used to talk about eating cats and all sorts of crazy stuff, and I'd see it in there, because you had a wrench, and think, oh, should I take Nathan's wrench from him or not?
I'll take that as a sign that you don't want me to talk about eating your cats then on this show. Okay,
no.
Point taken.
Unless you would allow me to talk about eating your daughters. So,
and we are back. This is the Limitless Ronnie James Harris with the one and only Jason Laufenberg. How's it going, brother?
Oh, that's too much.
Can I get it? Did you hear what she just said?
Only if I can talk about eating your children.
I thought you'd like that, brother. That was just for you. Oh, wow. How is everybody doing tonight? That was, oh, my camera's off here. That was a funny way to start the hangout. Yeah, out of love. We document the truth, and we do what we do because we love the truth. And we actually love each and every one of all of you. That's why we do this, right?
And sometimes the truth hurts, right?
Some of the most important lessons I ever learned were painful ones. They tend to they teach you the quickest.
How much do you generally learn from the really fun, exciting things? Like, they don't teach you lessons. They're enjoyable. You like that you're not going through tribulation, but they don't teach you anything.
Like, I guess, like, hockey can teach you, like, how to, teamwork and work ethics and stuff like that, but I guess until you get hit with the puck, you don't really know what it feels like. It's such a weird thing, how we learn lessons, and I guess tonight you're going to be sharing with everybody a tough lesson that you've been going through. Why don't you set that up and bring up anything that you want to.
All right. So tonight I'm going to be calling out my mom, my mother, the person that gave birth to me, my own flesh and blood. All right. And I'm starting with her, and I'm going to keep going. And it's going to be real self-evident in the videos. In fact, at a certain point, because I'm going to be calling out all these people, if you keep up with the videos, it's going to be, the truth hurts because it's so simple. And yet the problem that I'm running into is these people just literally refuse to give me their attention at all. Right? Just pure ignorance. Ignore him. Do not respond. And I know I'm standing on the truth. I'm ready to defend it. This is all stuff that you and I have double-checked together. We've verified it, cross-checked each other's work, and these things are true. We're ready to defend them in a debate. And my own family, my own flesh and blood won't listen. And so because the things that I know and understand are the truth, the Bible, it's all truth, it's coming true. We can see that we are right in that time period where the Great Tribulation is going to really kick off. And we're just waiting on that peace deal in the Middle East, and we'll see the Antichrist to be revealed, and then all of a sudden destruction. So we're that close. And the way I see this is there's going to be a time where I'm going to have to face Yahweh or Yahushai, and he's going to ask me, what did you do for the truth for me? And one of the things that I don't want to have on me, I don't want their blood on me, is all the people that I love and care about. I want to be able to say, I did really try the hardest I possibly could and was actually creative and forceful and did everything I possibly could to get their attention so that I don't have their blood on me. I don't want it. So what I'm looking for is like we're having a core right now. It's an affidavit, a sworn statement. And I want these people to recognize that there's just two roads. There's the broad road that leads off into destruction, and narrow and cramped is the one that leads to salvation. You know, a lot of these people think that hell isn't real, even though they think that they're Christians. And it's because they, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses really messed them up in that thought process. Excuse me. But I'm reaching out to the entire family. It's starting with my mom, and then going to descend through the family. It's going to be really serious. It's going to be really real. I'm calling them out, and this is public. All right, I'm going to get everybody's attention on this that I possibly can. We're going to shake it out. And so I'm worried that most, if not all, of my family are going to end up just purely hating me. But I know that what I'm sharing, because we've done it together, is the truth. I know that some people are going to come across it, and it's going to be of benefit. So I'm going to do it anyway. I'm doing it out of love, so that well, it's in the description box. So when you get a chance, everybody read the description box for a reason. And yeah, so we're going to do the premiere thing again tonight, where it's going to be live streaming from this channel. I'm going to premiere it on mine. If you would like to join in the chat on the premiere there, as long as you're there to speak truth, you're totally welcome. Do you have anything else that you would like to say, Ronnie?
Maybe when you hit premiere, I could share it. The internet it cracked a bit on your end, but
okay,
it might be okay. We could just go with it, but so yeah, just real quick, I can say that I've been through most of my family members about the truth, the scriptures, the creator, the flat earth. You know, my mother believes in the flat earth. My dad, you know, I think he believes that it's flat too. But you know, like, and my brother too, I don't think he believes me, but yeah, he brought up that on the TSN or Sportsnet hockey sports lunchtime show, they brought up the flat earth cruise and how it was going to sail off the edge of the earth. And I quickly snapped back. I said, did he also say that, you know, the flat earth cruise that's going to sail around the globe, right? But nobody got that one as quick. But you know, Robbie Davidson is actually I think the cruise line itself is really smart, that they were able to say, hey, let's support this guy. Let's have a cruise. We're going to call it the Flat Earth Cruise. And it'll just get people looking at the cruise, right? Even if you're not a flat earther, you're going to see Flat Earth Cruise, and then you're going to, hey, cruise is probably a good idea to do, right? But so I've been through it with my family members. So if Jason's mom's listening or Jason's dad's listening, you know, you can talk to my mom or my dad at any time, and they can witness to the truth that Jason and I have been saying, because they've done, at least as far as the research, my mom did the research. And she stands with us, and she's more than willing to talk to anybody, especially Jason's family members, right? So parents, children, uncles, cousins, they can all come to the truth. It's if you can't debunk it, it's probably the truth, right? It's coming from the creator. It's the same thing that the Pharisees ended up with the new gospel, right? They stopped persecuting them because they got to the point where they said, if this truth is from the creator, you're never going to be able to stop it. So if what we're teaching is that unstoppable truth, repentance, and, you know, hey, just take baby steps. And yeah, let's go ahead, Jay.
Okay. So this is a big one. I've never Never hit publish on a video like this before, brother.
It's a one of the kind piece. Like I said, and the reason that you're doing this, like you put in the description box, is because you care, you know? That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to mute myself and let this thing go.
It's probably going to have an intro timer again. Remember I was telling you how me and you.
Yeah. So where's the intro timer?
When you hit Premiere now, did you save it? Yeah. Click on the link and go to the video. Me and Jason were actually the first ones.
Here we go.
Just wait there. If you want to, you could share. Do you want everyone to go in the chat over there?
No, it's up to them.
So it's just funny.
All right, so we got a little bit of time that we can talk here. Or do we just... All right, I'll go bye-bye. I am starting a new series of videos, and I want to explain to everyone right up front what the purpose of the series is and how it's going to be conducted. I recently made a mini documentary titled The Cult of Pythagoras Mystery Babylon Revealed documentary, published December 31st, 2018. In this documentary, I showed that I had received a letter from my mother with a bunch of copy and paste heliocentrism citing known Pythagorean cult members like Sir Isaac Newton, Johannes Kepler, Henry Cavendish. I exposed the people that she gives her authority away to as being Satanists, and how she, right now, I let my parents know that I was publishing a video response to the letter that I had received, and they said that they would watch it premiere. Days began to pass with no response, and I began to press them on the matter. In response to being told that I'm going to make her the new poster child for what a satanic witch really looks like, and that I disown her and my dad, I was given the response, okay. I'm going to be calling out my family in descending order from my parents to cousins, and I am finally going to get a response from them. It has been their tactic from the time I began trying to share truth with them for them to all just simply ignore me. I'm no longer going to allow that. Every person is going to have a call-out video created about them. That video will be fully SEO'd to the person with tags, title, and a thumbnail image of the person so that those of you that do not come up in the Google search results now will. The first round of videos will be tame, yet direct. What I'm looking for is a response from you. Like I said, I'm going to no longer allow you to ignore me. I'm seeking a definitive answer from you. The inspired scriptures let us know that there is no fence sitting with regards to truth, Revelation 3:16. But since you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, are you a Pythagorean? Are you part of Mystery Babylon that believes and promotes heliocentrism? Do you believe the great deception and mislead others? Do you understand that everyone that has promoted this lie is a Satanist, and that by giving your authority to these Satanists, you are in fact a Satanist as well? Or do you care about truth? If you are indeed a Satanist and would like to be left alone, I will respect your wishes, but not until you have responded to me by voice. I want to hear your voice and know who I am speaking to and record it. Once your response is published, I will leave you alone. To ensure that everyone does respond, I will be doing a first round of videos that will be a call out to make sure that I get everyone's attention. For individuals that are stubborn and still want to ignore me, the second round of videos will be much more direct and poignant, where I will begin to mimetically humiliate you to get your attention. Anyone that wants to push me to a round 3 will see a full-out character assault with me throwing every piece of dirt I have at you. I am fully prepared to go to a round 3 with anyone and look forward to any dirt on me you would like to reciprocate with. I regret nothing of my past, but have plenty of mistakes that I have made that I would like to turn into teaching moments. Each video will contain a personal message along with boilerplate sections that applies to all of you. So here is that boilerplate section. You may be asking yourself right now, why would Jason be doing this to me if he actually loved me? I'm going to explain. I know for certain that the inspired scriptures are the truth. What they say will come true. Luke 12:53 says, in the NIV, they will be divided, father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. That is going to happen. I know it to be true, but there is more. For those of you familiar with what I've been saying for almost the last year, this will come as no surprise. But for those of you who have chosen to ignore what I've been saying, Ronnie James Harris of the Limitless Channel and myself, Jason William Laufenberg of Awake Souls, have been saying that we are the two witnesses referenced in the Bible. Many times it has been talked about and demonstrated that Ronnie exhibits the traits of Moses and that I exhibit the traits of Elijah. Since I know that the inspired scriptures will always be true, it's important for me to know what the scriptures say about the role of Elijah in the last days before Yahushai's return. The last two scriptures of the Old Testament, Malachi 4, 5, and 6, say, behold, I'm going to send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and terrible day of the Lord. He will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, so that I will not come and smite the land with a curse. I believe the last prophecy of the Old Testament by the last of the prophets is being fulfilled with this video series. Ronnie Harris and myself are the ones that have restored the true name of the Creator and the Christ. We've exposed the lies of Yahushua being any other than the Creator manifest as a human, and we have laid a straight and narrow path of pure truth based on 4 fundamental truths. 1. That heliocentrism is a Pythagorean mystery school Babylon doctrine promoted by Satanists. 2. That the AE map and model of a flat earth is more satanic lies from secret societies like the Freemasons and Jesuits. 3. That this is not the material realm taught by the ancient Greek philosophers that gave us modern-day atomism. And fourth, that the creator of this world is the God of the Bible, that his name is Yahweh, and that he was born into this world just like you and I to redeem those that put their trust in him, and that the only name by which you must be saved is Yahushai. It's important to note that when reading Acts 4:12, that the name Jesus was made up by the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus. That is what Jesuit means. The letter J and V had just been created by a guy working for the Pope. Not long after that, we got the Jesuits and the name Jesus. And Acts 4:12 tells us that salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. So you best do some research like Ronnie and I did to know what name to call upon. I have a pretty strong hunch that most, if not all of you I call out will be resentful, but I'm sure of one thing: you'll either love me or you'll hate me. Luke 12:53 will be fulfilled, but I also know that Malachi 4:5-6 will be true as well. My only question is whether or not it'll be one of you that I call out that will be a fulfillment of Malachi 4:5-6, or if it is only fulfilled by others that watch these videos and their loved ones end up responding to the truth when confronted. It is my prayer that every one of you that I call out return to the path of truth and to the creator of this world. But you can be sure that I am putting you on record as to who it is that you support, the God of this world or the creator. As for you, Mom, I've called you out as a witch multiple times and you have never refuted me once. I have called you out for your support of Pythagorean mystery school heliocentrism. I've called you out for using the Freemason Sir Isaac Newton's pen name as the name of the God of the Bible and the Jesuit name for our Savior. I've called you out for supporting a religious organization that was created by one of the 13 royal bloodlines of the Illuminati and a super Pythagorean himself. I'm giving you three options. Call me and tell me that you know that you serve the God of this world, Satan, and it is your decision to do so, and I will publish your response and you will not hear from me again. Or if you think Ronnie and I are wrong about something that we are teaching, schedule to debate us live on that topic on one of our channels. Or if you cannot find fault with what we are teaching, renounce your former satanic ways and begin to share the truth with others.
Do you know what this represents? Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storming?
Could be the calm before the storm.
Wow. That was great, man. What a great video, you know?
Oh, thanks, brother.
I hope it's works. Yeah, the link to that hangout will be in the description box. It'll probably be a little bit clearer on that channel. Wow. What do you want to say?
That's just the beginning. That's round one. That's the friendly wake-up call. It's like, hey, do I have your attention now? Okay. And I'm going to make sure that I get everybody's attention, and then it's going to be up to them. Like they have 3 clear-cut options. That's it. There's no other option that's going to be recognized. It's either admit that you're a Satanist, let me record it, I'll publish it, I'll leave you alone, I'll take the rest of the videos down. All I want is your confession, right, published. You're a Satanist. And or tell us where we're wrong about something, schedule the debate. Ronnie and I will debate you about it. And if you have evidence that we're wrong, we are going to laud you with so much praise, it'll be ridiculous. You won't be able to stand how much praise you get. And a third option is recognize that this is all truth. It really is the truth. And you stand up and you start sharing it with others. Otherwise, I'm still going to call you out. If you recognize it as the truth and you don't actually share it with other people, it'll be even worse. It'll be way worse. So round 1, this is the friendly wake-up call to everybody. Things are about to get real. If you want to go to round 2, it's going to be a medic. It's going to character assault, right? Nothing here physical. There's going to be nothing physical coming from me whatsoever. Totally against that. This is spiritual warfare. It's battle for the truth. And round 2, I'm going to make sure that when somebody types in one of these people's names, that the first couple pages of search results is just going to be nothing but memes about them. And then the third round is when we go to real dirt slinging, and anything that I know in somebody's past, something that they've confided in me, I'm not keeping any secrets. And so if they think that they have dirt that they can throw back at me or whatever, cool. I want to talk about it. I've been asking for something like that and haven't had the opportunity.
It's already up on the searches. Just saying. It's already up there, but it can come down, right? There is a way.
Yes. Well, of course, if somebody recognizes the truth and starts sharing it, then I would cleanse and scrub all that and put up all the videos showing everybody how the incredible changes that there have been. But I think I just want to take the time to read the description box quick so that people understand where I'm coming from on it. There's the thumbnail.
It's always good to read the description box and try to put links down there and share anything that you can, right? Try to use every bit of every tool that you have, right?
Yeah. So this is the message that I left with that video. And I do say, calling out my mother, Barbara S Laufenberg, for supporting Pythagorean mystery school Satanism. I'm no longer going to allow myself to be ignored. You will be forced to choose a path. If you are a Satanist and want to be left alone, I will respect your wishes as long as I have a recording of you stating that you know and understand the consequences of your decision. If there is something that the Limitless Channel and myself teach that you feel is incorrect, we will immediately schedule to have a live debate with you on one of our channels. If you that what we are teaching is correct, then I do expect you to share it with others unless you want to be called out as a Satanist for not sharing the truth. I pray that you give up your hard-heartedness and that you reject the lies of Satan's system. I do not want to see anyone suffer in torment for eternity, especially my own mother. But that is what is going to happen if you continue to be a Pythagorean. If you want to debate these topics, please schedule. I highly recommend that you do not push me to a round 2 or especially 3. I have the techniques and skills to completely malign your character, and I will. This is spiritual warfare, not fleshly. If I had to wound you to keep you from running off a cliff with Satan's system, I will. I care that much. So that's the approach that I'm taking. If we were to visualize a bunch of lemmings ready to run off a cliff, if you wanted to save one of them, one of the loving things that you could do would be to wound it so it can't get to the edge. Right? So in a spiritual way, I'm hoping that calling out my mom at a level like this will somehow get her attention to the point that it could change the road that she's on. Because right now she's supporting everything satanic, and she's in a religion right now that was created by one of the Illuminati. It's like, wow, what more? So it's gloves off time now. I've whatever it was that was holding me back before, if there was some sort of a restrainer, the restrainer's gone. I don't expect to have a relationship with my parents unless they begin to care about the truth. And if they don't care about the truth, I'm just going to call them out and expose them like every other Satanist. Yeah, I think, brother?
Yeah, well, before we end the topic off, I think that it's super important that people understand that your motives and what it is that your goal is. You know, the end game. What's the end game for you?
To find as many as possible that would abandon that wide and spacious road that's leading off into everlasting destruction, but torment. Like, it's not just lights out. Like, trying to warn them, don't go down that road. Don't do it.
So, you know, it's not as if you're wishing anything on anybody else that you're not willing to submit to yourself in front of everybody in creation, right?
I take the sense I do based on the solid confidence that it's all based on reality and that it's been double checked by somebody that I respect his quality of research.
So the most important thing that I think is that that you, the listener, try to learn as much as we can from Jason's experiences in our own lives. Be bold, be strong, be stand out for the truth, right? Because at the end of the day, when we're held to account for everything that we've done, you know, is it okay to just, if a child was in danger of dying, would you lightfoot it? You know, you go in and you do what you have to do, and that's why I'm really humble, and I'm thankful that, you know, I get to work with you, Jason, and that our calling is to share the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that is what we do, and we're willing to be corrected. When I first met Jason, we didn't know the original creator's pronunciation and name. We found that along the way.
It's true. And here's another interesting thing. So the bold statement has been re-emphasized again in that video, and it's going to be part of boilerplate that's going to be in all these call-out videos. So Ronnie and I do say that we are the two witnesses, and I just want to bounce this one off of you. If we're wrong, and two other witnesses come along, Moses and Elijah, hey, we're the two witnesses. You know what's crazy is they won't be able to claim credit that they restored the true name of the Creator and the Christ in these end times, because we get the timestamps to prove it. All right, so they wouldn't be able to say such a thing. They're not going to be liars. All right, and so it's just a fact. That's something that we did. And when it comes to the keys of the kingdom, restoring those, they wouldn't be able to lay claim or credit to that. You've got the timestamps to prove that. So it's just one of those things where you put yourself in a quandary if you expect it to be somebody else, because a lot of the things that we've done, they're not going to be able to say, hey, I did that, because we'll be like, well, no, that's not true.
Yeah, well, no, everything that happens in this, that's why we liken this into a simulation or a spiritual realm, right? Really what it is a spiritual creation. We don't have a strong enough, powerful enough word to really explain what this place is. But it's not, atoms and molecules and DNA. It's all garbage that they've made up. It's a spiritual world, like the water was turned to wine, the loaves to many, like all of these things, the walking on the water. This is a supernatural, spiritual realm. And that's part of restoring the keys, is the fact that we unpacked that there is a spiritual level meaning in the scriptures, and it flows throughout all of the extra canonical books. Paul emphatically wrote about it. All of the apostles spoke in that language. They were even called to, hey, we know you're one of them. You speak as the Galilean. So they had their own speech, and it was because they weren't just using the 66 book canon. The foundations that they were founded upon were the Apocrypha, the original scriptures, the book of Enoch, the book of Adam and Eve. There's so many, the ones that we're reading on Sunday. But these are the things that Jason and I have been led to do. And we're going to continue to. And, we want to be corrected, but we know the research shows that the alphabet that they used before the Masoretic points were added, they added those because the Greeks wanted them to translate it, and the Romans into different language that had those I, E, O, U, and Y. So, it had the vowels. So, but the original language was just Abba, Gada, how was it? It had no vowels except for sometimes I. Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh. And we found out that Hawa was the original name. It meant exists. And Moses added Yah, so he exists. And then Moses also gave Yahweh Shai. He was the son of Nun. His name was Joshua, which was Oshea. And before Oshea, it was Hawashai. And Yahweh means he exists, delivers, or he exists, you could say saves, salvation. He exists, salvation. That's what Yahushai means, all in one word. We don't have to say Christ. It's the actual higher level spiritual name of the Creator. And it was given to all generations. The same with the name Yahweh, that the Jews, they won't say it because the Jews have hidden the keys to the kingdom. They haven't let anybody in, and nor are they going to go in. But we found it just through seeking, knocking. The book of Thomas was one of my huge inspirations, because it clearly lays out the path, right, Jason? Which me and you spent a lot of time on that book.
I got to tell you right now, that was a soundbite worth clipping and repasting, because you just burned it down right there. You really did.
Stop.
You did.
I need a bear and a fireplace to get popularity around here, though. Oh, just kidding. So I got some other stuff to show, if we want to switch topics for a second, but that was a great video. I shared it on, click this button, everybody. You can share it on all these different social networks with everybody on LiveJournal or Facebook. So we're going to go to Facebook today. Let's share this in a group. Just put in, flat earth groups. Hopefully you've joined a few. Give it to Nathan. No. But yeah, we hope that everybody shares the stuff. So Where do I start here? Let's go through this real quick. Facebook. So I shared the video that Dan had made. I just wanted to show people they offered me $5 to help promote my video for free. So, okay, I tried it. So I've reached 2,234 people with this video. Has 189 engagements. It's pretty interesting that I can get traction. So and then there's your video here. It's reached 1,279, 103 engagements. So I wanted to go through this live with you, Jason. There was a comment here. I wanted you to read this out and you know, maybe type in the chat an answer and I'll paste it in for you.
Sure.
Let's see what this comment says. I'll make it larger so you can read it. This one here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get your take on it.
Here sounds right. Plato's more wrong. Well, he uses lots of big words, and I do believe that he goes into self-contradiction and that this is just a bunch of gobbledygook.
Yeah. He's talking about metaphysics, and with spiritual understandings and shamanistic androcentrism. Is that what that is?
Yeah, but Aristotle more right, Plato more wrong. Ontological stories are delusional pipe dreams. So he made a true statement at the end. Metaphysics is a series of wishful fantasies. Get it over it, grow up. But where's the statement going? Where's the conclusion? It didn't go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Like, there was some other good comments. Thanks. You know, people shared it. This person was like, "Wow, cult leader. Wow." You know, so there is more activity happening. And I really don't know what I'm doing here. I just set it to like Colorado, Toronto, and Boston, and I just like try it out. They said they'd put $5 on this. I guess they want you to pay for this. I don't know. It was free. So I tried it. So hopefully, I know your views are probably stuck, but it's just reaching people is what matters. And this one really reached out too. So the both of them did pretty good, and people are joining Beyond Flat Earth here on Facebook. It's a group that it's a page that I have where we can all meet up, share links. Yeah, and I got lots of people like Derek and some other people, Elias, that join us on there as well. So there was some interesting stuff as well. There's a giant storm coming that they're talking about, this polar vortex. Have you heard about this, Jay?
No, but it fits with the video.
There's a storm coming, yeah.
Right.
So what it says here is temperatures in the stratosphere suddenly spiked in what's known as a sudden stratospheric warning event. This gradually disrupted the polar vortex, much like a person bumping a spinning top and causing it to spin off balance, slow down, and meander drunkenly across the table. So what I'm pointing out here is, so there's been this video, this warning, and there's been another hot topic saying that the Earth's pole is shifting, and they're showing the different path that it's supposedly been taking. So I know the Earth is fixed, and I know that it's not some pole shifting, right? So you got to think, could this be something happening or being prophesied? So when I went to Isaiah, it says here, the earth staggers like a drunkard and sways like a shack. Earth's rebellion weighs it down and it falls, never to rise again. So earth staggering like a drunkard, you know.
that scripture sounds just like a spinning top getting knocked off kilter and coming to a stop.
That's exactly what they say.
Wow.
So I find it interesting that that's, you know, what the atmosphere does. The atmosphere spins like a top, not the earth. The earth is fixed, right?
Mm.
So, but it got bumped, not the earth, the atmosphere. Stratospheric. But it says it here. So this doesn't sound like a good judgment. Utterly broken, split open, shaken violently.
No, get ready, people. We're going into great tribulation like this world has never seen before. It's not something to prep for with like canned food and stuff. It's something to get mentally ready for, because we're going to have to throw all of our faith, all of our confidence in Yahweh Shai, to care for us in our time of need. And we do know from the scriptures that he can take care of us. So
Trust in him.
there was the manna, there was jars of food that wouldn't run empty. There was a loaf, you know, a couple loaves, a couple fishes that fed 5,000. That's the kind of preparation that we're going to need, is to be able to believe that that's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, well, you surely shouldn't expect it then.
Yeah, you absolutely took it up way high level here, everybody. Everyone on the other side of the screen, we'll rewind that and we'll play that again a little bit slowed down. So for Jason and I, we believe on the scriptures wholly, right? We know that those miracles happened. So we've been brainwashed and mind controlled into believing that we live in some sort of a physical reality where we're on a spinning ball. You know, the whole Pythagorean heliocentric lie. But really, the ultimate goal was to take away the spiritual aspect of reality, right? They stripped it from the scriptures. So John the Baptist was a precursor to Yahushai, and they cut off his head. And he was the one who was speaking the hidden language that Jason and I have brought back. You know, Robert Farrell and a few other people were talking about this as well. And we just witnessed to it. Hey, this is really, really true stuff. Like these scriptures, they truly come alive. You learn that in the earthly understandings, there's a heavenly level couched there. All the parables make sense. You know, it's almost like child. It's so simple. And you could change the words as long as the words still created that picture. It was almost like a pictographical language as well. The living word of the Creator is so amazing. And it's saying here that in that time they will be gathered together like prisoners in a pit. They will be confined to a dungeon and punished after many days. So like, I really hope people know that this is going to happen, right? So you better be finding the truth, understanding why you're here, what your goal is, why are you alive in this time right now. You have to have more of a purpose to your life than 9-to-5 job, or, you know, being a regular Laodicean Christian. You know, what else are you here for? Are you here, like, you know, that's what I want to know about everybody that's watching us. I feel I really want people out there to do their own research and work hard, make the clicks, you know, take the time to share truth with people. And it's super important in these last times, because we don't know how long we'll be able to do exactly everything that we do. So, you know, we're just hoping to get as much out there, and that's what our goal is, right?
Well, and the thing that I'm trying to lead by example here, that the people that you care about most, stick it to them as far as the truth is concerned. Just don't let them off the hook. Push them on the issue. Some people, you got to bend them over just about backwards where their forehead's touching their heels before they start tapping. But I don't know why they make it so difficult. But if it's gonna, a sore back, if a sore back's gonna save their life, it's worth it. So it's gonna come from somebody that they trust, somebody that they respect, because so if you've climbed the mountain of truth seeking and you get to the point where you realize the earth is flat, that's a huge hurdle to cross. It isolates you from so many people. And then if you recognize that the AE map and model doesn't work, boom, once again you've been separated even further. Then if you've gone as far as to look and see, who created this world, now all of a sudden you're a Christian, so it's another level of separation. And I really don't think a person gets to that level without being a hardworking truth seeker that is probably leading, the best Christian life that a person can be expected to live these days. And so that person is going to be upstanding in the community, as far as you're not going to be a person that's lying and cheating on contracts. You're not going to, just outright be stealing from people. Your word's your word. You do what you say you're going to do. And because of that, you've earned a huge amount of street credit. People respect that because they generally don't like being taken advantage of. So when you start sharing the truth with them and you get serious and you're like, put them in the arm lock and say, hey, no, really, this is for your life. That's where this huge amount of conflict is going to come in the family situation. And it's going to be that sifting process, the wheat from the chaff. It's going to be, and the majority are going to go off on the heliocentric side. They will go down that road. But a small group is going to go off on the stationary, non-moving earth. And, it's a huge difference in outcome for the two different roads. So we just do the best that we can to let people know, and pray, pray for our loved ones. But unfortunately, you're going to be confronted. I would expect all of you that some loved ones are going to choose the heliocentric road.
I hope not. It's pretty ridiculous to think that you live in a spinning ball when the creator said exactly like, and not only that, we're not supposed to love anything in this world.
Mm-hmm. But so many do, and the scriptures foretold it, and we know that they're right. Why do people love a spinning ball so much? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, but the competition is pretty sad. Listen to this clip.
Brel.
Bart Sibrel, I believe. In fact, on my channel, myself and DITRH, boy, he's getting lots of mentions. He's going to owe me some money. Anyway.
Yeah. How much is each name drop? How much is that? $500?
I don't know. They don't say our name. Never have, never will. They're snakes. But the content was really poor. I guess we could talk about this. So the supposed, I guess, what do they call him? The father of the flat earth? Mark Sargent?
Mark Sargent. That's what they call him. That's what CBS, that's what ABC, NBC, CNN, they all call him the father.
Yeah, I think he was on the BBC morning show as well. They called him the father of the flat earth, and, a Flat Earth Society member card carrying the disinformation campaign. But so Nathan got a strike on his channel because he was, saying something about Timmy Osmond, I think. You remember? But he, it's funny. She asked him where he got the strike from, and he would not tell anyone. I'm like, why is this guy keeping that a secret? Jason and I, we show, like, here we go. Look, everybody, we're not going to be live, and here's why. But he skirted around the question. It was really odd. She asked him and asked him. He would not tell her. But the content, so he lost his live streaming abilities. And I think the main disinformation agents, they really want to keep their reach as far, worldwide as they can. So they've got him over in the UK trying to, reach more Europeans. And I think it's failing, right? He got someone flagged his video, which is, it's so childish when people do that. You can flag a comment, that's fine. Someone says something that's ridiculous, but to flag someone's artistic expression, and the truth, it's not right. It's a cowardly move, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to break, so he flagged his own channel, and that's why he won't tell people the name. But so yeah, it's just really, really dry. I don't think anybody tuning into this outside of their 50 group people or 40 group, whatever it is, this isn't entertaining. It's ridiculous. It's really bad.
Oh man, Nathan Oakley, he got the promotion. He's up in the big chair now. Him and Pat. Wow, what a dirty, dirty group they make.
Yeah, they say some outlandish stuff, just like the intro video, right? Like,
it's so bad, man.
So, there's also the whole topic of that Owen Benjamin guy. I've just been watching all of the flat earth people just super, super, super whore themselves. It's, if I was, let's say Owen Benjamin's real, Jason, he's like, I don't want to work for Satan anymore. I'm out. He's doing his research, and he realizes, hey, I can make a few $1,000s a month off YouTube, maybe 4. Who knows how many views he gets, right? It's a 2-hour hangout. The longer your podcast is with advertisements, the more money you make, right? So, and I've seen all these people throwing themselves at me. I don't know if that's not the way that I conduct myself. How about you, Jay?
Sorry, you caught me a little distracted looking at the chat.
Well, how do you go about, I don't see you in Owen Benjamin's chat screaming, hey, come talk to us. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm super anti-celebrity. Super anti-celebrity. If you're showing up on TV, movies, comedy, music, stage plays, whatever it is, if you have some sort of like promotionalist, you're on the wrong team. You're on the wrong
You're
team.
making me laugh. Well, if you're making money off of a satanic Hollywood, or if you're on mainstream television, that was another thing that Patricia brought up in the hangout. Like, there's nothing wrong with being on the mainstream TV, she said, right? Nathan's like, yeah. I was on Vice, and she was on I think she was in Hustler, right? Wasn't that her big? So, because Jason and I were the ones going, hello. They don't put you on TV if you're telling the truth, right? They do everything they can to stop you. As far as, sending in people to manipulate your viewers, right down to that level. Like, they do not like the truth being spoken. So, with the whole Owen Benjamin thing, if he's a real truth seeker, the truth is his fruits are going to tell. Time will tell the choices that he makes. So he's going to debate Eric Dubay, or he's going to continue to promote. He's talking about the ice wall, the circling sun. So if he has any intelligence at all, he's going to realize that the sun does not rise and set the way that map demands. It's as far from reality. It's further from reality than a spinning ball even, right? It's worse. So if he's got any brain in his head, he should be able to hit that truth there. And with the other brains in his so-called, he says he's a genius, he should realize, yeah, the earth is flat. So how does this work? And he should, ipso de facto, by following the truth, find our content and hear this very statement that I'm making. So if he is a truth seeker, we will see him. And if he's a shill agent, like most actors are, they're being paid to act, we're going to find out quick. Or maybe not. He might be a slow. There's the slow play. Jason and I have seen it all. So what I think could happen is, let's take the Owen Benjamin is an agent scenario. He comes in, acts all, no, it can't be flat. No way. Does all that, acts sincere, but really he knows that the sun rises due east and sets due west 2 times a year. He knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I see him running his channel just like Mr. E. All right, where it's good, clean content, lots of truth, but you're never going to get through to him. He's just going to continue to do his skit, like we watched Globebusters do their skit for 3 or 4 years, and it's gone nowhere and done nothing.
Yeah, same.
And he'll never be reachable, never be accessible, and it will never go anywhere.
Yeah, I reached out to Trans Apocalypse channel, Mr. E. He didn't respond, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to Globebusters too, but they actually do have people. They brought you on. They did that to make me mad. Because they're a bunch of babies. But they got duped, right?
It was their mistake.
It was a pretty big mistake. But, like I said, people in the chat, like people like Derek, Yahweh's daughter, Elias, I've actually seen them, sharing these truths with people online, and it's the most amazing thing. You see it, you're like, bam, this guy knows that the sun's not rising and setting the way that the AE map says that he can explain it, teach it. That's what I really want. Jason and I, we're not making these hit piece videos and call out videos, and we're not showing all these people for their crazy character for no reason. We're doing this for a reason. And the most important thing is that you guys, learn from it and, do the best that you can with the knowledge. That's, that almost is, because we don't ask for money. We don't like thousands of hours, of editing. And we do that because we love to do it. There's no higher level of expression than, taking a camera, a microphone, the entire internet, and putting together something with music, right? There's absolutely no way to convey more emotion than that. Imagine when the creator was walking on the earth as Yahushai, he just was able to speak and write down in alphabetic letters. That was it. Look at what we have today. It's unbelievable the ways that we can use everything as a dual-edged sword, right? Just like they use the internet to promote Satanism, we can use it to wake up people to the truth. And that's what our main goal is here. And we take the absolute most difficult path. If it's the trenches that no one's going in, Jason's like, all right, I got the first shift. I'm like, oh man, all right, man. Like, I gotta go. I got the next shift and the next shift. And that's what we do. We do it day in and day out whenever we have time, where we're not building with our hands and following what the scripture says, and we want you guys to have that same mindset. Like, when you wake up in the morning, you praise the creator, go to sleep, praise the creator. There's these things that we do that we want to empower you guys with. So right there, Jason's got the AE map and model of the flat earth is more satanic lies from secret societies like the Freemason Jesuits. So you got Owen Benjamin saying, well, look at that. The AE map and model is the UN flag. Boom. Hidden in plain sight. It's no. It's mind control, right?
It's the New World Order map.
You don't want nothing to do with that, because it's designed to be taken down, right?
Yeah, false dichotomy, Hegelian dialectic. That's the tactics that they used nonstop. Like, you're such a one or two trick pony.
It's such a dirty magic trick. It really is, man. Because you're like, you offer someone 2 cards, right? Neither of those cards are the one.
Right.
Like, what kind of a trick is that? You call yourself a magician. It just is pathetic. And you're right. Usually, you guys can prove us wrong on every single word. We beg you to prove us wrong on everything that we say, but you actually have to do the research, and
come to us in a debate, present the evidence, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. Let us know. We want to know. We want to be on the highest truth possible.
That's the whole goal. We don't care about being wrong. We make a video. Yeah, I was wrong. We both went through a process before we got to the map, right? We didn't just all of a sudden, we didn't show up to the dance with this on. We had to search.
Mm-hmm.
But we did it, right?
Yeah, the first stereographic map I ever showed was on Globebusters. It wasn't the right one. And then
it was more stood up.
Yeah, and then this one the next week. This one came out. You found it. And now we have a better version of it from Hotine, right?
This Hotine one, right?
Yeah.
And then we just orientated it where west is west, east is east, north is north. What's funny, Jason, is this where they have the new magnetic pole? It like curved like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we've been telling people with this map, there's only one North Pole, right? And there's one South Pole. This is half of it, and this is the other half.
It works. What it does is it eliminates the need for a magnetic declination map.
That's right. And it also would be the only map that you could possibly trick people into believing that they live on a sphere with.
And it's the only map that if you were in Antarctica and you went from one side to the other, that your compass would flip 180 degrees.
And see, these are the things that I wish I know when we're in the new bodies, the imperishable, when the perishable takes on perishability, unperishability. I don't know why I'm going with those
Unperishable ability.
When we put on those garments and I know that if this is the map that it's just renewed, I don't know if we're going to get a new map, but I would go and I would enjoy doing the research, and I'm not really into mountain climbing, so we're going to have an issue where there's mountains, but I think there's always a way, right?
I'll climb the mountains.
But there's always a way. We'll have some sort of a cat, the Kubota machine that up we go, right? It's got a.
We'll make a catapult that'll launch us up there.
Well, Elon Musk is saying that his new car is going to do what the Back to the Future car did, right? But he's going to the moon.
Which one does he need? The lightning bolt, or does he need the garbage disposal?
Oh, there were so many links that we've shared that Miley Cyrus one where she's hailing Azazel.
Worshiping Satan.
It's crazy. Remember when the Globebusters had this sort of map out? Remember that alien shaped one they were using?
Yeah, the heart shape map.
Yeah, I guess you could say it was, but it was. Bob was like, "Yeah, it's like someone sketched a doodle out on a napkin or whatever, and they were using that as their world map."
That's what he did.
But this is the Hotine, and so this would work as well in the simulation, like in the reality that we have here. If you took a boat or a plane or anything like that, you could go around here. It'd take a while though, I bet. You can fly up here. So what we'd like to know is if you went, due south, would you pop back up? Would that be the shortest route? Because we know that nobody flies directly over the poles for some reason. On the AE mapping model, it would be demanded. You'd be saving, tons and tons of time going all the way around instead of just going. You'd save so much time, but yet they don't do it. They don't cross either pole. And we want to know why, right? There could be something super spiritual or supernatural. I know I've seen the Northern Lights. They're pretty. There might be some crazy stuff going on up there that no one's allowed to go to. I wonder,
Well, you can see with this map right here that through Antarctica right there, if you watch the lines of latitude and longitude, you just trim at that one straight line that goes through the middle of Antarctica, and you take that and you put it over on the other side, and all those grid lines will match up on the other side. They just separated it out like this to keep it distorted so that people wouldn't be able to recognize it.
Well, except they didn't see us coming because me and you were doing that right away. We were clipping it and putting the orientation with the prime meridian in the center, right? It's what this is a oblique stereographic projection. So it's kind of, there's an interesting way that it, I want to say Euclidean geometry applied. It's amazing that, if you have your compass and you're anywhere along this line, your compass is going to follow it. So when you get up here, it's going to be curving. And that's why they had so-called magnetic declination, right? Was because their maps were like pointing straight, right? Whereas this one has curves on it. And what's interesting too, is when projected to a sphere, these curved lines become straight, like a crochet ball, right?
Yeah. That's the most amazing part of it. It's the confirmation right there. It's like wham.
Yeah, we've got that on our channels. We've done it in the editor. This is an interesting way to look at it. And they do tout that this is the most accurate landmass. They left all the skewedness, they said, to the water areas, and the poles and everything were mapped so that the land masses were correct, right?
Yeah, it gives you all the correct distances between the land masses, all the correct land volume, because we know that if Earth is flat, there has to be a 2D map of it. Has to be. And here it is.
I know, brother. I spent 2015, 2016 just constantly just asking the creator, show me what it looks like. Show me, please. I want to know. I care so much about your creation, Father. Please show me what it looks like. And, I never imagined it to look quite like this, but I've become so familiar with it now that it looks just like where we are, right? If we were above, this is probably the highest perspective that you can get of our supposed measurable reality. Now,
it's too high. You can't see that far. You'd have to be so many thousands of miles high to get that view, and you can't see that far.
Yeah, we have stuff like this, as our highest, I think. We don't have anything higher. But what what we do know is they fly around with stealth. Like, they're basically gliders, right? They go up into the high atmosphere and they just glide. And they have good, I guess they're not that high because they still film it, right? They do ribbons. And they say that this is the most accurate one that they've built like that, right? Yeah.
Oh, and what it does is it reconfirms the 1894 by C.S. Peirce that he was pretty close.
And it's funny because this was when Robotham was around supposedly as well, pushing the AE map, and Robotham was making observations about the southern sky. And, he's never been there. He'd never made the observations. He was just relying on other sailors. I think he said Australia was inhabitable. He made some glaring mistakes with the southern regions of the Earth, and it's probably all calculated. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But this map is, like you said, from 1894. It projects to a sphere correctly. And then we find a more updated version is right here, right? So it's incredible, man. That's just one thing. Plus, the higher level understandings, the scriptures that we've been sharing with people.
See, these are all things, and you're humble, I'm humble, but in all truth and honesty, if two other guys came along and said, "Hey, we're the two witnesses," they would not be able to claim those things.
Well, if they did, we want to listen to them.
Yeah, but they would have to have evidence that they shared it before we did, because we got timestamps.
But yeah, I still think that the peace deal. There's a few things that are supposed to happen. I think the abomination of desolation. I sometimes wonder if that's not the transgender, changing sexes, because we're the temple of the Creator. Our head is literally called the temple, and that's where our consciousness is supposedly dwelling. But again, has anyone seen a picture of a DNA strand? As far as I could tell, there was some magnified, blown up picture of what looked like light, like little spectrums of light that that's a helix. Show me an atom, show me an electron, show me a real picture, right? I want to see these things. I want to see any of what they tell us is real. Because as far as I can tell, is scientists have drunken from the fornication of the whore, and they make money off of lying to people about reality and truly, killing you spiritually. That's what they do. The whole reason that they told you lived on a spinning ball earth was so that they could condemn you to hell, right? That's the whole goal here. Wasn't to further our knowledge people. They were divinating, they were channeling spirits and doing alchemy and all this witchcraft stuff, Yeah,
the quote unquote enlightenment. That's this 500-year ago time period that's supposed to be so amazing, right? The enlightenment. It's that enlightenment that's going to get everybody sent off to hell if they don't get off that road.
Well, and it's clearly written in the scriptures. Everything that we've said, you can verify, right? Just like I kept saying, the higher level spiritual being understanding was killed, right? They put Yahushua to the cross, to the upright stake, right? Even the cross symbol is a pagan Babylonian. It's wrong, right? The scriptures state that when Yahushua said to the people to pick up the cross, he meant like the staff, right? It was a stake. Pick up your stake and walk with me, because they had to walk so much. It was probably good to have a staff with you, right? I'm just thinking that.
Yeah, a walking stick.
Yeah,
staff.
You're going to follow me. We're going to be moving. So be prepared, right? Grab your. He wasn't saying pick up a giant cross and wear it like that. It's absolutely satanic. And I don't know how else to get people to understand that. Do your own research. Like the word meek in the Bible, they've twisted it around and they've neutered people spiritually. And this is a spiritual war where real men have to stand up and biblically do what's right. And we also need powerful spiritual women, and they need to do the same thing, or it all falls apart. But ultimately, someone could come in and try to say anything they want. Jason and I just witness to the truth. We stand to be corrected on everything we say. And this was just an interesting night. Jason, you made your call out to your mom. The first video.
The first of round one.
Like I said, I wish I could make sure that your mom is listening, because my mom, she believes in the flat earth, and the Creator's name is Yahushua. She back checked what I said, right? Like, it only took a few times, why couldn't your mom do the research? You've got the video on your channel.
It's because she doesn't want to. And I'm working to wash my hands of her blood. I'm going to make her respond, hey, I just want to be a Satanist, whatever, leave me alone, or prove that we're wrong somewhere, or care about the truth and share it. So I feel the same way about her as I do the rest of my family. I want confirmation from them where they stand. This ignoring thing, it's not going to work. Pretty confident in that. And yeah, so many other videos I want to make too. My mind's full, but now that I've got this one out of the way, I plan on basically just putting in a little personal message to each one of the family members, and I'll be able to sort of rubber stamp them out. So it won't take too much time.
And so, you know, the UN map, the Flat Earth AE map, I want people to understand that it has Rome's wreath beside it, right? Like, hello. So this is something else that Owen Benjamin or Joe Rogan, there's only one other channel that I ever heard talking about this. Is, you know, none of these channels really take you to a spiritual level. They don't give you that food, that spiritual. That's what Yahushua said. You have to eat of me, like, you know. And then you'll have Satanists. Oh, Christians are cannibals. Like, no. Okay, that right there is an exact example of what we've been saying. There is a earthly level understanding, and there's a spiritual level understanding. Right? The blood is the spirit. Right? The bread is the word of God, and you have to literally ingest it spiritually. And then it becomes part of you. Like, you can remember on the drop of a dime, someone can say, bam, you know that scripture, because if you love the word of God, when you read it, the actual manifestation of it becomes part of you. You watch that play through time as you're reading the scriptures, and you're literally there with the Creator. You gain that understanding, and that's what I don't think a lot of people really do. They don't ingest the scriptures fully.
Well, now with the internet, we have such a cool thing where if you know the scriptures well enough, where it's like, it says something like this, and you can just get part of it out. You just type out those words, add the word Bible, and I bet you 99% of the time, your first result's going to be what it is that you were looking for. So you don't have to, it's good to, I'm just saying, like, I don't actually have all the books, like, where I'm like, Matthew 24, 27, blah, 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 says this, and just be able to rattle it off. But I do know in my heart what it is that I'm looking for, so I can find it very quick. But you have to know the scriptures. You have to know them to be able to do that. All right? We should still memorize it, right? You probably got the whole thing memorized cover to cover.
Sometimes, but it's more of a specific memory draw type thing, right? Like I said to people, the best way to do it is to manifest the actual, like, be there when you're reading the book. You know, I guess it comes down to faith and belief. That's why Yahushua said, you know, you see me, yet there are ones that'll come that'll still believe, yet they will never see me. And that is what we are. And there's nothing that is going to change that. We see prophetic things happening all around. And we ask each other these questions, like, if this is the end time, who are the two witnesses, and what are they supposed to do? We watch the Revelation 12 sign, right? The Son of the Man with the stars, everything lined up with the moon under feet and bathed with the clothes with the sun. Like, we literally watched scriptures fulfilled. And we're continuing to do it, and we want to bring all of you with us. And we generally have a comb out there constantly throughout all of the truth, all of the internet, that we can find people sharing truth information, and we try to bring to you guys the most true stuff. Anything that we can verify, back check, and that's what we do. We research, we check the facts. Jason's Mystery Babylon video was superb. It was point blank destruction of the whole sodomite heliocentric Pythagoreans. The vegan agenda, the pyramid is the Pythagorean symbol. That's what he worshipped. The 3 points, the pyramid, that was all Pythagoras. It was all Babylonian sodomy. It was homosexual men doing wicked things and conjuring up wicked stuff. And it still to this day is being perpetrated, right? It's mind control. It's on the money.
It is. Yeah, that stupid pyramid Pythagorean crap.
Yes, all Pythagoras.
It gets worshipped like left and right. It's just insane. But it was a homo club and the beginning of real secret societies. And wow, there's really a bunch of them. It's amazing to find out just how many there really are, and it's shocking. I don't think that they ever expected to be exposed so quickly, but it's happening very fast. And people can see now that if you're part of a secret society, the chances of you being a fag are super, super high. It's a low outside chance now that you're not. So
Yeah. There's a couple of scriptures I can add. When they talk about the sun is going forth is from the end of heaven and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. I've been sharing this one for a while. So, we couldn't have infinite space because the sun wouldn't reach there. I know Dean Odell pointed this out. It was a pretty good one too. Or there is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all of the earth, and their utterances to the end of the world. In them he has placed a tent for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. It rejoices as a strong man to run his course. And this is the path on our map that we show people. The macro. There's also the micro through your circle of sight, how the sun rises and sets. And we've been sharing this, and there's so many. There's great scriptures for the fact that we live on a still flat earth, right? It's so biblical. There's scriptures for simulation realization. Like it says, stop loving this evil world and all that it offers you. For when you love these things, you show that you do not really love Yahweh. For all these worldly things, these evil desires, the craze for sex, the ambition to buy everything that appeals to you, and the pride that comes from wealth and importance, these are not from Yahweh. They are from this evil world itself. And this world is fading, and these evil forbidden things will go with it. But whoever keeps doing the will of Yahweh will live forever. John 2:15-17. These are the types of things that I know that this world isn't supposed to be worshipped. It's an abomination, really.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I got more. And, in Romans, it said 12:2, and again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. So if you hear that statement, nothing can be, beyond the distance that you could see from the tallest mountain on earth, right? So there probably were taller places before the flood, I believe. There's so many good stuff. The thing is, we're not supposed to really, if you start to research something, you can become that topic, right? So, like transvestigations, there's a sickness, right? And, I just want to try to guard people away from that. And the best thing that you can do is to just, read the scriptures yourself and actually do the Strong's Concordance, look up for words that you don't understand. And that's my best advice.
Yeah. Put in the legwork, do the research, and pray. So another thing that we get from the scriptures, if you ask, you will receive. Knock, and there will be an answer. So in those cases, there's a initial thing that you have to do. You have to initiate the process by the asking, by the doing. And once you've initiated the process, then it can be blessed. Then there's something to work with. But if you don't ask and you don't do, you just sit there, there's nothing to bless. So it's something that you literally have to take time out of the day to do.
So someone called this out in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in Texas for a little while. I don't know what that has to do with anything. The truth is that we both already witnessed to never have being gay or having anything to do with gay activity in our entire lives. We swore against hell. A hellfire be upon us now, right here, in these very words. So, that is a commonly used attack by a Satanist, right?
Yeah, well, I've put myself out there on the line for heavy criticism from basically everybody. So it's all out there, and I've got nothing to hide. I can stand before Yahushua and say, I've never touched another man in that way, and I know I'm good. I don't have to worry that...
Yeah, me too. The same thing, exactly. That's... Before I open my mouth to say a lie, I stop myself now, right? So, but see, that is the only attack, because that's what happens, I guess, maybe. And, that brings up something else that I wanted to say. We're quick to call people faggots and sodomites and all that, but really, at the end of the day, if you're living in sin, I don't think that approach works for everybody. The ultimate truth that, sodomy leads to eternal hellfire, that alone is the most important truth. But everybody gets forgiven, right? If you ask for repentance, and repentance by meaning you ask the Creator to change you, and you change. So there's fruits of being changed. And, something that we bring up constantly, and I have been lately, ask the Creator to show fruits in you. So I smoked. I asked the Creator, I believe in you. Take this from me, and I will be honest, and I will share your word. And he took the smoking from me. And right now I'm in the middle of getting in shape program. And it had to be at least 5 to 8 years where I wasn't in shape, maybe longer. And I said to him, take this from me, Father. Show me that I'm on the right path, because the line of work, the career path that Jason and I chose, is one where we don't want anything here on earth. We don't want any riches. We just want to get by, right? And we want to, whatever it takes to share your truth. That's what we pray on. And there really isn't much for an attack there, right? We're Christians for marijuana. We believe and teach. Jason has a video called Spiritual Warfare 1 and 2. Where Jason teaches everything is about moderation. Yahushua gave people wine, so you can't say that drinking wine is and see, the other thing that we're calling out is going back to the law, because we're not cursed. We're under a new covenant. We're saved by the Creator's grace alone. And everything else, once you believe on the Creator, came into this world, died for us, for our sins, because he knew that we were going to sin. He's the Creator. He's the Father. He created us. He knew, right? So when you believe in that, then you ask to be changed. You ask for the truth. And I'm hoping that everybody that listens to us at least is gone that far. And if you haven't, I don't want to call everybody faggots and queers. I don't always want to have to throw punches. I'd like to come to the table and say, hey, listen, man, we all sin. I've sinned in my life. I've got nothing to hide. So the best thing that we could do is try to bring you back from hell the easiest way possible. We don't need to always be so brash and tough. And we read scriptures, and, we're always available to anybody that wants to talk. Like my email is awakeeple@gmail.com. That's awakeeple@gmail.com. And Jason, you can give them yours. And this is something that you don't, You don't get from anybody else. We actually answer the comments. We actually respond to the emails, and we do it with the creator's will. We submit to the creator on everything that happens. So if someone comes to us and says, oh, I've been having this in my life, we pray on it, we read the scriptures, and then we respond. And we stood up for that truth, right? Where can people reach you?
awakesouls@gmail.com. awakesouls@gmail.com. It's just like the channel, except there's not a space in it. It's awakesouls@gmail.com. And you're right on, brother. And it's so full of love, your message. Everybody can be saved up until the end. We're just trying to sound the alarm really loud, really hard. Of course, whatever a person's sexual past is, whatever their drug history is, whatever, all those things, thefts, lies, those are all sins that can be forgiven, but we just keep on screaming and shouting, you got to be for Yahushua in order for that to work. And, it's, we're getting down to the wire. And so I'm gonna do what I can and pray. But so many people's hearts, the decision's been made already. And what you were saying about like the homosexuals and stuff, my hunch is that so many of them are just way off in the weeds, way off in that broad, spacious road, right at the edge of the cliff. I don't see them being the ones looking for this kind of truth. They're watching like reruns of the Big Bang Theory or something.
Yeah, they're not hearing me.
What?
Yeah, they don't hear me. They don't hear you. They're not tuning in to Beyond Flat Earth, right?
They're probably not. It'd be
It's
nice.
tough.
It'd be nice, but if they were a truth seeker that was, through the flat earth hurdle and all that, doesn't make sense that they would still be homosexuals.
Well, I've heard a few. I think on Dell's show, on Nathan Oakley's show, probably on Patricia's show.
Yeah, but that's all the Freemasons and Jesuits that support the AE map and model.
Yeah, so maybe they stumble on the video. I just, they can still have forgiveness too. Like, it's not just for me and you.
No. That's the reason why we do this live. If it was just for you and I, we wouldn't have to hit the live button.
The other thing I wonder too is where do these people, because if I jumped through the hoops and I wasn't the most highest level educational, my report card isn't as good as a lot of people's, but if I'm able to come to these truths through the trial and error, right? And basically each piece that doesn't fit gets thrown out and you're left with the truth. And this is how anybody can research. I don't mentally understand how there isn't, hundreds of people at least saying, hey, we found you in a search because we were searching this type of map. Or, hey, we found you because, I filmed Clouds Behind the Sun too. I just realized that you guys had done that. Wow. Multiple different situations, Jay.
It's truly weird. I can't explain it at all. It baffles me.
Or how could the sun rise? 90 and set 270 everywhere on a map. Like, there's got to be a way you could make that happen, right? Oh, look at this.
Hey,
it lines up. But that's when you need to realize, though, that we live on a micro scale. Everything in our reality is rendered to us at a certain distance, and you can even see with your own eyes. If you go out to a high vantage point, you'll see that things on the outside of your vision start to get blurry and they fade into nothing, right? Because there's not enough working reality in this reality to, if you were in a unbound reality, you'd be able to physically zoom in with your own eye, right? Could you imagine?
Yeah, unlimited sight. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to go through?
No, I'm just mostly rambling. It was a good night, man. Thank you for everything you did, brother, and everybody in the chat. I'm really thankful that we got to share this Wednesday night together.
Yeah, it's great. So, brother, where did you hear this?
Only beyond flat Earth.